The RMS Titanic, a luxury steamship, sank in the early hours of April 15, 1912, off the coast of Newfoundland in the North Atlantic after sideswiping an iceberg during its maiden voyage. Of the 2,240 passengers and crew on board, more than 1,500 lost their lives in the disaster. On May 31st, 1911, Titanic's immense hull, the largest movable man-made object in the world at the time, made its way down slipways into the River Lagan in Belfast. More than 100,000 people attended the launching, which took just over a minute and went off without a hitch. The hull was immediately towed to a mammoth fitting outdock where thousands of workers would spend most of the next year building the ship's deck, constructing her lavish interiors, and installing the 29 giant boilers that would power her two main steam engines. Titanic created quite a stir when it departed for its maiden voyage from Southampton, England, on April 10, 1912. After stops in Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, Ireland, the ship set sail for New York with 2,240 passengers and crew, or souls, a little more than an hour after contact with the iceberg. A largely disorganized and haphazard evacuation began with the lowering of the first lifeboat. The craft was designed to hold 65 people. It left with only 28 on board. And in compliance with the law of the sea, women and children boarded the boats first. Only when there were no women or children nearby were men permitted to board. Yet many of the victims were in fact women and children, the result of disorderly procedures that failed to get them to the boats in the first place. Hundreds of human dramas unfolded between the order to load the lifeboats and the ship's final plunge. Men said goodbye to wives and children. Families were separated in the confusion, and selfless individuals gave up their spots to remain with loved ones or allow more vulnerable passengers to escape. In the end, 706 people survived the sinking of the Titanic. The Titanic's creators believe that they have built an unsinkable ship that cannot be defeated by the laws of nature. This same overconfidence explains the electrifying impact Titanic's sinking had on the public when she was lost. There was widespread disbelief that the ship could not possibly have sunk, and due to the era's slow and unreliable means of communication, misinformation abounded. Newspapers initially reported that the ship had collided with an iceberg, but remained afloat and was being towed to port with everyone on board. It took many hours for accurate accounts to become widely available, and even then people had trouble accepting that this paragon of modern technology can sink on her maiden voyage, taking more than 1,500 souls with her. A ship historian, John Maxtone Graham, has compared the Titanic story to the Challenger space shuttle disaster in 1986. In that case, the world reeled at the notion that one of the most sophisticated inventions ever created could explode into oblivion along with its crew. Both tragedies triggered a sudden collapse in confidence, revealing that we remain subject to human frailties and error. Despite our self-admiration and a belief in technological infallibility. It was a beautiful spring day when the unsinkable new ship, RMS Titanic, set sail for America in 1912. Traveling on this newest wonder of the world was quite a status symbol for the many wealthy passengers who had bought first-class tickets for this maiden voyage. And naturally, they wanted their loved ones to celebrate their good fortune with them. On board the Titanic was a fairly new invention, wireless telegraphy, which seemed to offer the perfect way to do this. Hundreds of such messages were composed by happy passengers and submitted to the wireless operator of the Titanic, and it was a young man named Jack Phillips. Jack, of course, was eager to participate in this money-making venture. Hour after hour on the night of April 14th, he tapped out these telegrams from the pile stacked before him, but he kept getting interrupted. Some other nameless radio operator out in the North Atlantic kept sending urgent messages to the Titanic, thus causing Jack to have to interrupt his own lucrative efforts in order to receive each new transmission. At last, in frustration, Jack Phillips acknowledged the radio operator of the Californian, who had been repeatedly warning of icebergs spotted in the path of the Titanic. These are the 6 words of response Jack sent out that fateful night. Shut up, I'm busy. Like passengers aboard the Titanic, many of us are comfortably steaming through life, oblivious to the mortal danger just up ahead. Some of us even resemble eager young Jack Phillips, ambitious, dedicated, and hardworking, but choosing to ignore the warnings sent to us repeatedly by a caring God, who does not want us to perish in eternity. My friends, by ignoring the warnings that God is sending us, we are essentially responding to the Lord the same way Jack Phillips did the night the Titanic sunk, Shut up, I'm busy. My dear friends, I submit to you that if we continue in this neglect, we will suffer the same fate Jack Phillips did. The Bible says, "For how shall we escape if we neglect so great a salvation?" Hebrews 2:3. The warning that God is sending us is found in the book of John, chapter 5, verse 11. He who has the Son has life. He who does not have the Son of God does not have life. I'm asking you, do you have the Son of God? It's not an accident that you're listening to this today. I believe it's the mercy of God that is even now inviting you to turn the ship of your soul around and head for a safe harbor in the mercy of God. Friends, consider how joyfully history could have been written if 6 different words had been sent out that fateful night. Message received, course changed, clear sailing. Consider how joyfully your life history can still be written if you learn how to send that message to God. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my message. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you wish to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. Donation links are found in the description below. In addition, be sure to check out our new merch. We've got a lot of new products as well. And until next time, God bless you and your families. Thank you.